Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about a few select assets. We're going to be discussing Quant, Hedera, even XRP, and a few other ones as well. So let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first off, I hope everybody is having a great day or a great night wherever you guys are. We have been watching a few things around this market for a while. If you guys have been a follower of the channel for a while, we've been discussing a gold-backed system with CBDCs and DLT being at the forefront of it. We've also been talking about Quant being the interoperability layer, below everything, the core of the system. And we are basically seeing things move very fast around this market, as I have been addressing in my last couple videos. And let's actually dive into this and let's talk about a few things. So first off, this tweet's coming from Riz XRP, and he's just saying, QNT interoperability is key. Now, to me, we see this comment on the side saying that, QNT is not what you think. It's an eye blind. Like, everybody thinks that QNT is just some noise in this market. But everybody who says that does not understand what Quant is doing. A lot of people think that I'm actually being paid from the Quant team, but I'm really not. Like, I'm not getting paid from any of these projects. I will be fully transparent if I do get paid, by the way. But when we look at, like, what Quant is, it is the operating system of tomorrow. I've always said that it's the operating system of the future, because this is going to be the operating system for crypto and the legacy systems. This is going to be the global operating system that everything operates on. It is the key for it all. And QNT as a token offers so much utility and so much for what the actual system will need to be utilized properly by a lot of these major giants that will be utilizing this system, connecting to multiple DLTs, which we will be ushering into a multi-DLT system. And let's actually talk about that as well. So when we really kind of look at a few things, we actually look at Swift. Now, this is a video. It's 2 minutes long, and it's essentially the Swift CEO talking about crypto, talking about systems, things like that. But listen closely to it. It's about 2 minutes long.
My issue with crypto assets is more that it is highly unregulated, and there is a reason we regulate things like securities and assets. There's three reasons. We found over the 5,000 years that the world has had money, we have found that money can lead to three big dangers. One is systemic risk, bank runs, and all of that. The second is it is quite easy to screw customers once value is around, etc. So you have to protect customers often against these type of schemes. And the third thing is we have found that money is typically used for nefarious activities, and money is a good way to control tax evasion and all of those things. And that's why we regulate the financial industry. That's why we have central banks. That's why we have lenders of last resort. That's why we have the SEC on securities to make sure that securities offerings are true to value. They say what they do, etc. None of that exists in the crypto world, and I think that is an issue.
None of that exists in the crypto world.
I think that's an issue.
I don't know how we can say none of that exists in the crypto world. Every Ripple transaction is going through a regulated endpoint to a regulated endpoint. There are no transactions that are not KYC. There's no transactions that aren't monitored for AML. So, I mean, look, I actually think using digital assets, and I had the governor of a large central bank in Southeast Asia say to me, if customers were using XRapid, which is Ripple's XRP liquidity, it actually reduces systemic risk to a country, a small economy. Let me explain briefly what that means. Today, in order to, if you're a bank in fill-in-blank country, you pre-fund accounts around the world. If you're a small economy and you're pre-funding billions of whatever the local currency is into other accounts, you actually are losing control over those. And when there are currency runs, when there are challenges for local economies, that creates risk, increases the risk systemically. So if you didn't have to pre-fund, but this is an observation that I didn't make, this is an observation that a central banker made to me, that if all of the banks in this particular country used XRapid, the systemic risk would actually go down because they'd have more sovereign control over their own currency.
And that is what Ripple's main point is trying to get to an all XRP almost sort of system where XRP is the liquidity bridge. I don't believe that this is actually going to take place, and I know that it does sound great on paper for anybody who's holding XRP, and this is a great argument that is their end goal. But what I'm more intrigued by is this: Swift has been trying to protect their system for so long because it is a very large monopoly system where a lot of these central banks are basically eating at the table, charging individuals who are sending cross-border payments, etc. Massive amounts of fees. Now, DLTs, digital assets that offer this ledger basis, private, public, whatever. These are going to be the key players here, and I do believe that Ripple with XRP Ledger plays a very large role within this. I believe in a multi DLT landscape for these systems. I also believe that with a multi DLT system, with multiple CBDCs being issued out on these, specific ledgers or even private, public, whatever, we're going to need an interoperability bridge. And by the way, when we talk about public and private CBDC issuance, yes, that is possible even on the XRP ledger or multiple ledger technologies within the system. Now, as we look at this, right, we kind of take a look at Swift. And this is from CNBC. I'm going to mute this, and I'm only just going to play the video for you guys because I don't know, if there's any sound or anything like that. But I'd love to talk over this and actually discuss this with you. It's from Digital Asset Buy. When the world, finally realizes what we figured out a long time ago, they will be sick that they didn't see it coming. It's coming, and listen to this. Like, this is, Society for Worldwide, Interbank Financial Telecommunication. This is what Swift means. And when you actually look at Swift's underlying technology, it is very inefficient. The CEO just talked about, bank runs, systemic risk, stuff like that. But Swift is actually being an invoker of that. There's 11,000 financial institutions signed up with Swift. And as you guys do see, like, there's 11,000 plus member banks, 200 plus countries. Massive amounts of money are flowing over it on a daily basis. I think it's like $5 trillion a day now. Might even be a little bit more because that is like 2009 statistics. But when you really kind of look at, what is happening around that SWIFT system, it is a very inefficient system. Yesterday, we just talked about the 5%, failure rate. Today we could talk about how slow it is, how expensive it is. It is a very, very inefficient payment landscape that we continue to run on. And it's not just Swift. Like, we're not only utilizing Swift. Some other areas do utilize other ones. Like, there's 44,000 financial institutions out there, including banks. And, Swift accounts for 11,000 of them. So it's about 25% of the payment volume, per day, if you will. And they're a very large giant. But how could a giant like that has such inefficiencies be the key player? It won't. In fact, I do believe that crypto, digital assets, they hold the key to the future. Here we have, from MTech, we have developed a green CBDC framework for central banks selecting a CBDC solution. We will be unveiling more at the CBDC conference. We are attending with our partner Hbar and Hbar Foundation. Remember, right, when we look at what is happening around CBDCs, they are going to be centered on sustainable ledgers. And yes, the XRP ledger is very sustainable as well. But also Hbar will play a pivotal role within this area too around green CBDCs. Sustainability and the idea of having sustainable cash flow and banking systems is a large area to pay attention to because it is, a main focus from the government entities. And again, a lot of these ledgers in this space, like XLM, XRP, even Hbar, etc., are very efficient. But the greenest one out there is Hbar, which is why I always say, like, Hbar is confirmed already to be a major player around the CBDC push, specifically within the green aspect. So again, I just want to let you guys know about that. But also talking about CBDCs and the global status of them, this has been streamlined. Shout out to XRP Ninja for this graphic, but let's actually open this up real quick in a new tab so that we can kind of see it a little bit better. So that's like the best that we can get. But here's the state of central bank digital currencies around the world in 2022. Over 100 countries worldwide are exploring digital currency, and more popularly known as cryptocurrency. We do see status: launched, research, pilot, inactive, development, and even canceled. And you do see a lot of those pilots are moving very quickly. You do see some of them are launching as well. A lot of them are in a research phase and also development phase. I would argue that within the next 3 to 5 years, this entire map will have some sort of color to it. And it's most likely going to be within those 3 categories up top: launched, pilot, and development. I think that by then, research should have already been done. And when we really kind of look at this, right, it begs the question: where will these digital tokens, be positioned at in regards to their value, in regards to market cap? I mean, look at crypto, right? We just recently did a video on crypto and the market cap of, like, even Web3. Like, Web3 is supposed to balloon to $140 trillion market cap at the heights. So when we look at that valuation for Web3, like just think about this entire space though, because like Web3 is accounting for this space, but what about if we do accommodate for what Swift has, been doing? What if we complement the Swift system? What if we complement the financial systems that are running on a day-to-day basis? Like, think about the market cap of Quant alone, or XRP alone, or Hbar alone. Like, this is where I'm personally looking at. This is what I'm focusing on. And I do believe that if you are in crypto, you should also be focusing on that area as well. It's not so much about what the value is going to be tomorrow or next week or next month. Think a little bit long term. I know that that is a little bit harder for anyone that is a part of crypto where this market is moving 24/7, 365. But taking a step back, thinking about, all right, well, where will we be in a year, in 2 years, in 3 years, in 4 years, right? Because that is such a short amount of time compared to what most individuals are doing on a day-to-day basis. Like, some people will wait until they're, 50, 60, 70 years old to, retire. A lot of us don't want to do that. And it's not the idea that, like, listen, you know, I'm I'm one out here, like, I love to work. I love doing what I do. I own a design agency. I've owned multiple businesses. And even in the past, right, I have done construction. I have done, hard labor and things like that. I think that a lot of individuals that do watch my YouTube channel think that, hey, this is just a kid that is making YouTube videos. He doesn't have to do any hard work, whatever. Trust me, design agencies, online businesses, it is go, go, go 24/7. It is not easy. But guess what? It's not as hard as some of these other individuals out there. I've done construction. Construction is one of the hardest areas to work in. It is extremely physical, taxing. And, there's individuals that will do construction for 20, 30, 40 years and retire and barely be able to move. For me personally, when we look at this space, to achieve financial freedom and, be able to retire young or even in 30s, 40s, even 50s, right? Like, that's a huge move. That's a huge move. Crypto is offering such a huge opportunity for anybody who wants to take advantage of it, but you need to do your own research. You need to be patient. You need to understand the technology and the things that are happening behind the scenes, because right now we are seeing a huge morphing of digital assets to take over and have a full-on digitization of the current financial system. And I do believe that even tokenization as well will be another huge aspect to focus on, because when we look at tokenization, we are going to see major asset classes that are worth tens to 20 to even hundreds of trillions of dollars in value being fully disrupted at its core. And I would argue that nearly everyday life will be running on a lot of these systems, like even healthcare systems. We talk about, almost anything that you could think about. Cloud storage. We're talking about mobile phones. Everything is moving towards a digital landscape. So I want everyone to make sure that you are paying attention to the space. And I will leave you off with one last update. And that is this from, again, the CEO at Binance, saying the future is here. Visa, MasterCard, and Binance are suddenly making Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano, and even Tether payments a reality. Remember what I want, you guys to pay attention to. Look at these major players around the world that are focused on allowing for on and off ramps to crypto. They understand where we are headed. To me personally, right now, this market does demand an on and off ramp where we do bring more retail individuals into this space. But I look forward to the day where we no longer need things like this, where we have these centralized entities like MasterCard, Visa, PayPal, Venmo, etc. Like, these are the companies that are trying to get on board with the crypto train. I look forward to the day where you no longer need that, where crypto is just every day, everywhere. You could get it anywhere you want. That is what I look forward to. Being able to fully have just, crypto in your wallet, and that's it. You don't need, fiat. You don't need this. You don't need that. That is going to be the day that I personally am extremely happy that we were a part of this, market so early on. Remember, we are under a $1 trillion asset class right now for crypto. While we are seeing CBDCs, digital assets being at the forefront of the future financial system, this market is extremely early. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on it because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As is up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.